Hello, everybody. Jon Snedeker here with Notary Signing Agent Blueprint. Welcome to another episode of Signing Agent Secrets. Today we have the wonderful Nesha Allen. Nesha is right out of Clerical Paradise in Miami Gardens, Florida, not too far from me here in Tampa Bay. Nesha is just getting started. Thank you so much for being here, my friend.
Oh, thank you for having me, John. It's a pleasure.
Oh, you got it. Nisha, let's hear a little bit about your story before loan signing. So most people sort of find out about this job many, sort of different ways. What were you doing before you found out that loan signings was even a thing?
I was a litigation adjuster for an insurance company for some years, and
Okay.
then I started teaching at home. Started teaching children at home. So that's what I've been doing. And then I ran across a bunch of YouTube videos, and I was like, oh, let me see what this is about.
Awesome. That's fantastic. So, what was the aha moment that you had that it finally clicked? Like, what was maybe in some of those videos that you're like, you know what, I actually want to pursue this a little bit more? Was there any sort of part about the job that sort of drew you in at all, or maybe can you touch base on that?
It was the flexibility. A lot of people nowadays, they want the flexibility. They have families, other obligations that they have to tend to. And it seemed pretty easy. Just, having someone sign their name, and you of course you need to know what you're doing.
Right, right. It
But
still is
it's
a job,
not
yeah.
as, yeah, it's, you have to know your craft. But it doesn't seem as stressful as being out in the workforce, having your manager down your back or anything like that. You
Yeah,
control you, and you set your own standard and go at your own pace.
that's
So
it.
it looked like, okay, anybody can do it. And of course, money. People do things for money. And
Sure.
I've seen plenty of people that have been successful being a loan signing agent. So
Yep,
yes, that
very
was
possible.
another aha moment.
Yep, I love it. And you know what? No one's looking over my shoulder right now. I've been doing this business for about probably about 11, 12 years by now, and the flexibility is incredible. I just had a call with we're talking to Rita. Rita was like, John, I go in the store during the middle of the day, She's
Exactly. And it's a wonderful feeling. You don't have to worry about the lines or anything like
Yeah,
that. If you have a doctor's appointment or if you have
right.
something else you have to do, you don't have to worry about scheduling, as in, oh, I need somebody to cover my shift or anything like that.
Huge perk, no one looking over your shoulder. You touch base on a lot of reasons why almost everybody gets in that job. Flexibility is huge. And that's just fantastic that you realize you can attain it, but it's not like you have to sacrifice so much to get it. It's just do the paperwork and do a good job and get more orders and make
Hmm.
this a reality for yourself long term. And it's really not that much of a head scratcher. It's pretty plain and simple.
And even the startup cost is lower than other things when you want to really start and branch off and do something else, and you look at all of the expenses,
Sure.
and this is pretty good. There's no overhead or anything. You could start off being at home for a while. It's all up to you.
Yep, that's big time. Yeah, you look at other business startup costs or even buying a franchise or anything, they want 30,000, 50,000. I mean, I tell people like it doesn't even take a few thousand to do this. And if you're really creative, you could probably do it for like, I don't know, 600 bucks, maybe 500 bucks.
Yes.
Maybe on the low end with like everything if you play your cards right, but it's nothing that um, is very very hard to attain with that startup cost. That's a really really great point that no one's talked about on the our program before or the show. Now Nisha, you're just getting started. Are you part time or full time, or how are you making this work with your schedule with whatever you're doing right now?
Yes, slowly starting off as part-time, and I want to
Great.
transition as full-time. I really do, but part-time for now will work.
That's awesome. The best way to do it is part-time. It allows you to not have the stress of the full-time job. Like I need to make this work in 2 weeks, 3 weeks. It takes a little bit of time.
Right.
And
Oh, I
so,
got these bills to pay.
yeah, yeah. Hey, you can't pay your rent and anything else. You can't pay your rent or mortgage or bills with anything else. Obviously, we all got to do something for a living.
Right. And
um,
then transition over. And like I said, a lot of people have done it and they're doing well at it. So nobody should be scared to, make that jump.
Yeah, absolutely. I talk to a lot of signing agents and or notaries that are looking to sort of make the change, and no matter how bad they want it. And seriously, even if you're watching now live or recorded, no matter how bad you want it or need it, you want to start part-time. It's going to take some time for your state to get back with your notary commission. You're not going to get an answer in your stamp in a day or two. It's just not going to happen. And so plan accordingly, be smart, learn how to do this business really well, but you can't do it in a day or a week to just get started. So part-time is definitely the way to go. And then you simply build your business strategically. That's what's going to
Mm-hmm.
allow you to go full-time quicker. You want to build your house on a rock solid foundation. You don't want to build it on a quicksand and do things quickly and skip steps. You want to do it correctly, do it right the first time. It'll
Exactly.
alleviate huge headaches for you later. That's a big deal in my book.
And
That's
I like to
fantastic.
tell myself that Rome was not built overnight. So
Yeah.
baby steps are definitely needed, and don't be hard on yourself at all. At all.
Right. Some people might take longer than others, and that's okay. Yep, that's a great point. Don't be hard on yourself. Just keep moving forward. I like to say, put one foot in front of the other. Keep walking. It's literally that simple, and just keep
That's right.
moving. Because if you don't, with Nisha, we could laugh about it for sure because it is sort of funny. But some people are just afraid to take that first step. They're afraid to literally move or take that second step because of the fear of not knowing what's around the corner, the fear of they're not sure what's going to happen. And so you just have this great energy. Like, that's it. I got bills to pay. Let's move. It's not.
That's that motivation.
Yep. Yep.
Sink or swim. No time to think about it.
Yeah, I like to say, use your fear as, get leverage on yourself and make yourself move quicker because of that, energy and feelings that you have. If you do have any fear, leverage it, use it to your benefit, and move quicker. Now, do you have
Absolutely.
any income goals or any particular goals at all? You are just getting started, but it's okay if you don't. But if you do have any goals that you'd like to share for people.
Of course, one day I want to be one of those loan signing agents that's making over 10,000 a month. However, progress. I like to see progress. So starting off small, having, building up in small increments is fine with me. I'm okay with that. And plus I can look back and see where I've come from and see how hard I've worked, and I will appreciate it more.
Yep, absolutely. You want to build that strong foundation, and the way to do that is, measurable gains, and you are reaching your potential by making yourself better. You're not trying to necessarily outdo others. Like, no one needs to outdo anyone else. You just need to become the best version of yourself, figure out what your goals are, and just keep walking on a daily basis towards those specific goals that you have, whether it's 10,000 over, under, whatever. Figure out what that number is, backtrack, do the math, divide it by, $100 or $125 per average
Hmm.
closing. Figure out how many closings you need to hit that number, and then simply put it in a weekly basis and structure your schedule to be available for those times, and make it really very realistic for yourself. That's fantastic for the goal. But you have a sense of reality that some people don't. Measurable progress of your own progress, and not so much looking at other people. It's all about
Right.
your progress, becoming the best version of yourself to build up that strong foundation. That's fantastic.
Yeah, because
It's
we
very
should
rare.
only be competing with ourselves. We should not be competing with other loan signing agents. No, look at ourselves, and
Yeah.
that's how we will develop and craft ourselves to be the best that we can be.
In your mind, or not in your mind, but obviously because you have the right mindset to it, but for the people that maybe are always comparing themselves to others, they always feel maybe disappointed because what on paper looks like someone else is doing better. What would you say to those people that are driving themselves crazy, like, I'm not as good as them, I'm always comparing themselves to others? I don't think it's a good idea at all, but what would you say to them if they're listening?
Block them out. Don't look at what someone else is doing as in to compare or compete. You can look at them as a reference, but don't focus on them. You set your goals, write down everything you want to do. And just because you haven't had this, X amount of signings within your first week or your first month, doesn't mean that your business is going to fail. It takes some people
Right.
a longer time than others, and it's okay. Just know it is okay.
Yep.
Do not just look. No time. There's no time for a pity party at all. Just
Right.
keep moving and you will be fine.
I love the energy. That's fantastic advice. I love it. Absolutely love it. Now, Nisha, you've seen some videos online. You've gone through some trainings. Do you think that this is a job that anybody could do, or do you think there's any maybe required traits that'll make someone sort of more successful? So, which sort of side of the fence are you on, or you believe in both?
I do believe there's a balance of both. Yes, anybody can do it. It's not like you need to go to school for X amount of years and obtain a paper or anything like that.
Right.
And you could be in transition to another career. However, you must be detailed oriented. You must you must not be a procrastinator. You have to
Right.
pick up the phone when they call. You have to get the documents back on time. So timeliness is key. And also you need time management as well to make sure you are getting to your appointments on time, because you just don't want to have that negative label on you, like, oh, she never returns this. Oh, they don't even show up to signings. Why are we even using her? You don't
Right.
want any of that to follow you. So yes, it's the best of both worlds. Anybody can do it, but there is a balance.
Definitely. Someone was on the other day and we were talking about even if you don't feel that you could do it, like it's not hard to learn, right? It's nothing, there's nothing that's like super significant in this job where you're like, oh man, this can take me 2 months to figure out. Like some careers and jobs are like, okay, you'll have 6 months of training or a full year of training.
Yeah,
This is
that
a job
learning curve and everything. Yes.
this is like a job where you could literally hit the start button and yes you need a few credentials in your notary and a few things, but the idea is even if you didn't feel like, even if you thought it was this humongous uphill battle, it doesn't take that much to learn even if you don't feel comfortable. And so that's a big point. And you're right, guys, let me tell you, if you're 15 minutes early on time or 15 minutes later, I like to say the writing's on the wall with people. Typically, the people that are 15 minutes early are always 15 minutes early. If you're on time, you're always on time. But the people that are always late, I just want to remind everybody that when you go to a signing and do the paperwork and leave, that customer, that signer is going to get a phone call, maybe 2 weeks later, maybe 3 weeks later, it could be the same day. And they're going to ask how the signing agent did. Were they on time? Did they dress professional? A lot of signing agents don't know this unless you've been in the business. They will get a phone call. And if you don't look like you should be at someone else's house, right? If you're still in your PJs or something, if you're showing up late, if you're not dressing well, you don't have to dress like you're going to church or anything. You just have to dress, good enough is what I would say, and good enough. But they will know. They will know. They will get that feedback, and they will adjust your sort of profile metric on your scoring card. So make sure that you're showing up early. Make sure you're dressed well. Make sure you're giving them a handshake. Just the simple things. Be on time, dress well, give them a handshake, and be professional. And not just those simple things are what you learn to get great reviews in this business. It's really not that hard. But that's a really, really great point that you made earlier for that. Now, the next thing is, Nisha, could you paint a picture of what success looks like to you? You talked about your goal is to be full-time. Do you have any time frame with that at all? Or what does really success look like for you? Because some people it's money, some people want to feel important, some people want to balance a life very well at home with their kids. Could you paint a picture for us of what success is to you at all?
Sure. Of course, success is measured upon the individual. So everybody has their own interpretation of what success is.
Very true.
To me, yes, I would like to be full time within, let's say 9 months to a year. Give me some time. I would be happy if it's shorter than that, but
Great.
I want to do multiple signings in a week. So that's really, really my goal. Yes, I would have the dollar amount based on each quarter. So as long as I'm hitting my goals, that's successful to me, honestly. So my daily goals, my weekly goals, even my monetary goals, that's fine. And I'm not going to be too hard on myself because I want to concentrate and make sure I'm doing the best that I can do and putting my best foot forward.
That's awesome. I think those are very reasonable goals for sure. I actually never thought of maybe the exact number of months to be full time. It all just sort of depends on, the knowledge someone
person.
has in this business, how hard they work, if they're getting off their butt, or if they're not, they're on their butt the whole time. It depends on how much they're
Right,
working, but
right.
I would say 6 months would be a very reasonable goal essentially for like a full time. Um,
Mm-hmm.
Probably even quicker, but it's really hard to pinpoint because it's all just individuals, to the person essentially.
Exactly. And you know what? It's how much you put into it. So if I see that I could put more into it, of course I'm going to reach my goal a lot quicker. So you get
Right,
in, you get out what you put in.
right. And so for those several signings a week, are you, regardless of how many signings you've done so far, are you thinking of maybe doing morning closings or afternoon closings or maybe even weekend closings? Have you thought about like your ideal time frame to do closings with the schedule you have now?
I would like to do mornings and weekends. Definitely mornings and weekends. And I would definitely see how things go. And I'm open to changing it. I'm very open because right now I work overnight. So I'm really flexible with my
Okay,
time. I just need to
awesome.
squeeze in time to sleep.
Yeah, and so everyone has a different schedule. Some people are 9 to 5, some people, everyone has a different schedule. And I think that
Yes.
it's important to understand that everyone's got different goals and unique abilities. But when it comes to the schedule, the most important thing is you look at it on a weekly basis, figure out the days and the blocks of time that you're available. And so for people like yourself that are looking for morning and weekend, when you talk to companies, you need to be asking them, how often are you scheduling in the morning? How often do you schedule Saturday appointments? And guess what? If they're giving you answers that say, I'm not really sure, try to speak to someone because you're going to get that. It's a very common thing. They may not want to give you the information. There are tons of companies to work with that will tell you maybe the more prone times of the morning or Saturday mornings or weekends and morning. You want to know that information because it's going to make your life easier when it comes to making this realistic. If you want mornings, get on the phone and tell them that you want mornings. Are you doing morning closings? How often are you doing morning closings? How realistic is it if I get signed up with you today that I'll get a morning closing this week or in 2 weeks? They may not have all the answers that you want. A lot of companies maybe will brush you off on these questions, but let me tell you, I've been very firm on the questions that I ask. And the
Yeah,
better
we have to
you
ask
can
the
paint a
right
picture for
question.
yourself, the more realistic it's actually going to be of you getting it. And so the
Hmm.
more clear you are, the better it is, the more realistic it is, the quicker you hit your goals, the more money you'll make. It just paints a more clear picture when you know exactly what you want. Because if you don't know, how will you ever get what you want? You won't. It's a very, very important concept to
Yeah, closed
people
mouths
don't
do
get.
not get fed. So you
That's
have to
right.
ask the right questions.
That's right. Big time. That's awesome. I love your energy. I love your spunk. What advice do you have for people on the fence that are still nervous, still a little bit curious, but haven't really, I like to say jump. Some people say jump in this business or really any
Hmm.
business, but
Yeah, you have to
what kind
jump.
of advice would you say to them, the people that are fearful and still sort of just floating around there? Because they're there. They email me
Yeah,
every once in a while, but
they're
what would you
there.
say to them?
I would say, do not wait for the perfect opportunity. You don't wait to have this. Don't wait to have that. Just go ahead and do it. Start off small. Like don't wait on your printer. Like you don't have to get the most expensive printer. I remember on our call a couple of days ago, John, you mentioned like don't just wait on different things. Don't wait for the perfect opportunity. I'm a perfectionist, so that was part of my problem too. But I just had to realize I'm just gonna go with whatever I have, and it'll be okay, and I will be successful.
That's awesome advice. Guys, the lights are never going to be green at the same time. When you, in your life, I mean, they're never going to be green. You go make what you can green and modify and adjust your sail, essentially. Adjust your sail to get where you want to go quicker. Utilize whatever wind is out there to adjust your sail and get you where you want to go. It's never going to just, it may dawn on you that you want to do it, but there's always going to be reasons for yes and no, but it's never going to be lined up perfectly. We've got some some of our students, believe it or not, Benjamin, who I'm very proud of, he started getting orders before his certification came. He was just, he marketed himself. He wasn't waiting. He was aggressive. He said, I've come across so many negative people in other groups that are just really struggling. They don't invest in education. He's like, I'm so happy because I'm getting orders and I'm not even sort of technically ready. He wasn't doing refinances, but he was doing types of orders that allowed him to do other types of signings. And I was just so proud of him for being creative and pushing forward and not letting fear get in the way, not letting what other people say get in the way. He was just moving. You know what I mean? He was in his own lane, and that's just awesome for him. But the people that are nervous, I get those calls a lot. They're not sure what to do. They're not sure where to go. And I can understand. It was a while ago when I got started, but there's so much bad information out there, Nesha.
Yes.
It sends them on like this spiral of, oh, this said this, oh, that said that, oh, I gotta. It's like ticky tacky. It's like, woo. Like they're confused when they call me, and I'm like, slow down. I saw this here, I saw that there, and I'm like, look, like make it easy on yourself. You're driving yourself crazy, and you're gonna start to drive me crazy. Like this is a simple business that does not need to be overcomplicated. But the people that just continue to try to start and look everywhere for the information, it almost makes it so much harder for them, and it's sort of hard to describe that to them. Like, don't look at the stuff. I mean, because they're just gonna go like crazy in circles.
Right. And if you hear no, do not get discouraged at all. So if someone tell you no about a signing or anything like that, or this opportunity is not for you, it's okay. Just move along to the next one. Go ahead and find another company to screen and keep your business moving.
That's it. That's awesome advice. One other golden nugget that just came to mind when you said that is I never tell a company no for a signing. What I say is I would love to accommodate at a different time or for a different dollar amount. You will only hear yeses out of my mouth. If I have, three or four back-to-back closing and I'm completely slammed, the answer is not, no, I'm sorry, I can't accommodate. The answer is, yes, I would love to accommodate. Nesha, I don't care if it's tomorrow. I don't care if it's 2 days from now. I don't care if it's for $250. Like the answer is always yes, I would love to accommodate for a different time, a different dollar amount, a different location. I had a lady on the other call, Babette, that said she's in 2 different states, and she's like, well, I'm a notary for this state and I'm not a notary for that state. So anytime I get signings for that state, I'm asking them to drive to Virginia. And I said, I love it. I love it. So just understand that, as Nesha said, you don't say no. You keep moving, you keep chipping away. And if companies are calling you, the answer is always yes. You want to be the yes person. They'll start to remember that. They'll start to realize that you'll wiggle a little bit to make it work for a signing. There's a lot of signing agents out there that are nope, sorry, nope. You got the yes signing agents and you got the no signing agents. Which one do you want to be, right? And so a little tidbit there. So one of the last things that we do, just gonna check time, we're great on time, is I just want to read you something and see if you remember what it is, okay? I absolutely love the videos and how detailed the steps were in your program. I have a minimum number of an income goal going through your program. I absolutely loved it. It was self-paced. John definitely wants what's best for us. I recommend the course to anyone as it will enhance your notary business. So you probably remember that. It's obviously in there, sort of tells you exactly. In there, it's a more obvious one of what that is. Obviously, you've been through our program. Could you maybe just talk to people about why you were able to say those things? Like, how have we made an impact on you in any way, genuinely?
John, you have been absolutely wonderful. Anytime any of us, in the group have needed you, you've been there. The mentorship chat, the regular Facebook chat, it's like you're there to answer questions. Even with the trainings are easy to follow. You're very detailed and it's quick to pick up on. And it was like, okay, he's really good explaining it. You're a good teacher.
Thank
and
you.
they are what you went over is very applicable. So it's like, all right, I can do it. And it's just how you genuinely care. When you call on the phone, even in your emails, you always let us know that you want the best for us. So I love being a part of your program, and I would definitely continue to recommend it to anyone else.
That's awesome. We appreciate that, guys. My program exists because I do care. Otherwise, it wouldn't be out there. There's a lot of nights where I stay up very late, getting back to every email, every phone call, every Facebook post. I do it because I want people to win. And this is a business, guys. You know, yes, the paperwork is easy, but there's a whole back end to it. So there are some sort of complicated questions. But I really do enjoy getting back to people because I do care about people's success. Not only just people that have been in our program, but every signing agent. No one deserves to struggle in this business. There are people that would die to leave their corporate job and just go be on the road or go do, you know, signings or have that flexible schedule. No one deserves to, you know, hate their life in corporate. That's a big deal. Corporate can hold people for 40, 50 years, Nesha. It just
And
doesn't need
drain
to,
you.
it
Yes, and
doesn't need
drain
to,
you.
it doesn't need to be like that. They just realize you have to start part-time in this business to pivot to full-time and make it happen. So I love what I do. I love helping our students. I love our program. And the only reason I do it is really do because I care. Otherwise, I wouldn't send those emails. I wouldn't answer every post. I wouldn't stay up until X o'clock, you know, getting back to everybody. So I appreciate the positive words. And right, we do the calls. The calls are recorded. Why? Because I realize that people have a life. People are at signings. They have to be able to access the information when it works for them, not when it works for me. And so that's a neat little feature that I realize people appreciate and let me know, like, hey, you know, I am trying to make this work part-time to start. And you know, they tell me that they like that they can listen to the calls whenever they want. They don't need to be there at that exact time,
Yeah,
which is pretty
sometimes
cool.
I listen to the calls overnight.
Yep. You're the night owl, huh? How long have you been doing? How long have you been doing nights for?
About a year now. So I'm ready for this transition back to doing stuff in a day. My
Right.
body is over it.
Yeah. You know, I have a lot of respect for people that work nights. My father worked nights for like 22 years. It was crazy. And I saw the effect that it had on the family too. I mean, it's definitely a sacrifice. My friend
Hmm.
Kelly's going through the same thing right now with a new schedule overnight, and I just have a lot of respect if you're not off your butt, not you, but the people that are have a normal schedule. If you're not making it happen during the day, you have no excuse because people are working overnight and still trying to make signings. And I'll share this with you, Nesha. My mentor Ralston had the trickiest schedule. He worked like a Thursday to Monday, commuted from Connecticut to New York overnight. He would go in for like 11 o'clock, get out, I think, you know, 7 in the morning from the city, take the train to New Haven. And this guy would be doing closings at like 8:30, 9 o'clock in the morning.
Woo!
I'm telling you,
Get right into it.
I absolutely loved what Ralston's work ethic. One of my friends and mentors even had him at my wedding. I was so proud to see how strong of a work ethic can actually take you in this business. There's no excuse. I've done the earliest signing, I think at 6:30, and the latest was at 10:30 at night. These closings are
Woo!
happening all the time. You just need to
Yes.
grab them. And the way that you grab them is going to dictate how quickly you could be full time. And so there's really no excuse for the people that aren't working overnight because people are working overnight and still making it happen. So
That's right.
that's just fantastic. So I'm really happy for you and proud of you. I think you're going to hit your goal sooner because you clearly have the right mentality, the right energy, and obviously you know what you're doing, which is, you know, a good portion of helping you get where you want to go. So that's awesome. Is there anything that you wanted to go over or talk about at all before we wrap up?
No, I'm pretty good on my end.
That's awesome. Nesha, you are the best. I absolutely love your energy. Guys, be sure to hire Nesha Allen. She's out of Miami Gardens with Clerical Paradise. Can you tell me where that name came from? That's a curious. I
Okay.
love it. It's very unique. I love it. I just had to ask.
Okay, so I want to eventually expand beyond just doing notary. So I didn't want my name to just have the notary name in it. So
Sure.
yes, the notary will be one aspect, one segment of it. But in your training, you said that we should think about something that's location specific in our name. And the Sunshine State is like paradise to a
Yep,
lot of people. So I was thinking,
absolutely.
hey, clerical paradise.
I love it. I love it. It's unique. It's you. It works. And the fact that you can even customize this business with either notary or signing agent, you get to create your own future, because when you become a notary, if you're watching and you don't know this, it is a huge sort of gateway into so many other types of jobs like mystery shopping, proctor of exams, inspections for insurance companies and merchant services. I get personally, I'm sure everyone, if you're watching, that's a notary, you get hit up so many times for so many opportunities. I personally think one of the best things that I've done was not to pursue those, because I really focus just on loan signings. But even if maybe loan signings isn't your thing, when you become a notary, you're a type A person, you take care of business, you're known as a leader in your community, you will be offered opportunities first before other professions that are out there. So your clerical paradise can go wherever it wants to go, because obviously, since you are a notary, you'll be getting those opportunities over the years. Obviously, people will find you from your profile and things like that. So that's fantastic that you're able to customize that and see where it takes you. And if something works, that's awesome. If it doesn't work, don't do it and try something else. It's
Right?
really that simple. It doesn't ever have to be complicated in this business. So guys, again, be sure to hire Nesha Allen. She's at Miami Gardens, Florida, not too far. If you're watching, be sure to like and share this video. We have fun on these calls. If you're looking to boost your confidence and income, we always have our 90-minute free training replay right on our website, notarysigningagentblueprint.com. It'll tell you exactly how I started without any time, money, or experience. It was 2008. Nesha, I had every excuse in the book not to start. I didn't have time. I didn't have money. The economy was horrible. My parents was telling me, what are you doing? It's 2008. You can't be starting businesses. I had every reason not to start. I am still here almost 10,000 signings later, and a national mentor to my proud students across the country, because I deeply and genuinely care about everyone's success. So I'm really glad that it's one foot in front of the other is all it takes. But you got to show up rain and shine, and have an energy like Nesha is going to take you far as well. That's awesome. Thank you for being here, Nesha, and we'll see you
Thank
next
you.
time.
Bye.